The highest ranked League of Legends player of all the time was born in 1788. He's never reached Challenger, he never climbed out of Iron. Technically, he never won a single game because he's refused to press find match. And his name is Arthur Schopenhauer. And 200 years before Ranked exists, he wrote a complete guide to it. Not how to win, how to escape it. And here is the twist we will get to by the end. The player who truly stopped waiting to win because impossible to deal, which accidentally makes him a stronger player in the lobby. And yes, hello my heartstuck low elo players, you watching Speech. And today we're mapping this philosopher in Europe history onto the ranked ladder. No academic supervision, as you see, our entire philosophy fits into one sentence. The world is not run by reason, it's run by will, a blind, instable force that wants and wants and never ask why. Abstract? Okay. Concrete. It's 2 AM, you said last game, 4 games ago. You're not having fun. You haven't had fun since Tuesday. Your eyes hurt. You have work in 6 hours. And your hand is already moving the cursor to the play again. Question. Who moving your hand? Not you. You, your reason, your plans, your I should sleep are the what Schopenhauer calls representation. A thin picture of your surface. Under the picture sits the will. And the will doesn't care about your job, the will wants last play. Schopenhauer says, every living thing is this: a tree pushing through concrete, the will; a salmon dying to swim upstream, the will; a 34 years old man in the Facebook argument, he cannot stop, the will. The ranked ladder is just the will with a user interface. Riot didn't invent your hunger. They just give it a progress bar. And the progress bar is all it needs. Because here's Schopenhauer's first brutal thesis. The will has no finish line. Desire don't want to be satisfied. Desire wants to continue. Schopenhauer has a famous image. Human life swings like a pendulum between pain and boredom. You suffer because you lack something. Then you get the thing. And the satisfaction evaporates in minutes, and boredom moves in. So, you find a new luck to start satisfying productively again. Now open your match history and tell me, isn't the exact description of your ranked session? You lose. Pain. Real pain. Your rank, which is to say your ego, which is to say your entire self-worth as the human being, just went down a number. You win. Relief. For how long? Honestly, how long does it win feel good? 90 seconds? You don't even watch the victory screen, you're already in the queue. Schopenhauer says, satisfaction is only the removal of a pain. Winning doesn't give you anything, it just briefly stops hurting. That's why there is no rank that feels like enough. Iron players thinks happenings lives in bronze. Bronze players know it lives in the gold. The gold player, it's depressed because he isn't a diamond. And the challenger player, the literally 0.01%, it's grinding 12 hours a day, terrified of decay, miserable beyond the dream of any Iron 4 peasants. Congratulations. The ladder isn't a ladder, it's the podium marked vertically. The price for climbing was never peace. The price for climbing is more climbing. Now, let's diagnose a tilt, and this is where Schopenhauer gets generally useful. Tilt is not anger. Tilt is what happens when you fuse with the will, when the waiting takes over the head completely, and the thin picture of reason burns away. A tilted player isn't playing badly. Tilted player isn't playing at all. The will is playing, and the will is a blind idiot with a mouse. And you're flaming. Schopenhauer covered that too. When you type jungler gap at -4, you're doing the thing. He considered the deepest human error, believing that your suffering is caused by individuals rather than by the structure of existence itself. Your jungler is not your enemy. Your jungler is a fellow prisoner of the same pendulum, suffering in the same coil, blaming you in a different chat window. Two manifestations of one will, hitting each other with sticks. By the way, as a person, Schopenhauer would have been the most toxic teammate imaginable. And I need you to know this. The man feuded with his rival, Hegel, for years, accused him of being a fraud carried by the meta. He scheduled his lecture at the same hour as Hegel, got an empty room, and blaming the audience. He living alone with a poodle. When the poodle disappointing him, he addressed it as "you human." This is a man with all chat muted since 1820. Right, you guys? Ignore your guides. We will come back to that. If a dead pessimist explaining your ranked addiction is content you enjoy, please subscribe. This channel is entirely this. Schopenhauer saw exactly two exits from this pendulum. Both are in the game. Exit 1. Aesthetic contemplation. His idea is that when you look at something beautiful, really look, without wanting anything from it, the will shut you for a moment. You stop being a hungry little engine of desire and become, in his words, a pure eye of the world. You done this, it's called Spectator mode. Watching worlds at 3 AM, no last play on the line, nothing to gain, nobody to blame, and the game is suddenly unbearably beautiful. The same map that ruins your life on the weekends. Same champions, same objects, the only thing removed is your waiting. And with the waiting gone, the suffering is gone. And what's left is just the game as the thing to behold instead of a thing to crave. Schopenhauer said music was the highest art because it bypassed concept entirely. The man would have had opinion about the world's anthem. We don't have time, move on. Exiting 2 is the big one. Daniel of the will, the ascetic path, seeing through the whole machine, realizing the waiting itself is the trap and stepping out the quo permanently. In clear terms, the only way to win ranked is to uninstall, not rage quit. Rage quitting is the will having a tantrum. You will reinstall by Friday, installing the way a monk leaves the world, calmly, completely, without checking patch notes for exile. But here is the paradox. I promise in the first 30 seconds, and it's the best part. The player, who have a generally stopping craving to win, the one with no ego left on the line, becomes the most dangerous player in the lobby. Nothing tilts him. A lost line is information, not an insult. A dead teammate is a fact, not a betrayal. While the enemy mid laner is typing an essay about his team, the egoless player is just playing next fight. Competitive transcendence isn't caring more, it's the unreasonable effectiveness of caring less. Each coach says, just play your game. Schopenhauer is that happens if you take that seriously as metaphysics. And now, the final twist about the man himself. Did Schopenhauer, author of the guide, deny his own will? Absolutely not. He ate at the fine restaurants, kept his money carefully, feuded, gossiped, chased fame in his old age, and loved it when it finally came. The greatest theorist of quitting the game never quit the game. He was in modern term a challenger-level coach who is hard stuck in his own ranked games. And every single one of us watching this at 2 AM between games, let's be honest, it's his student in that too. So, highest ranked player of the all time, born in 107-88, never pressed find mag and told you the truth about why you cannot stop pressing it. The ladder has no top. The podium has no off switch. There is only spectator mode, the install button, and one more games. See you there or in queue, statistically in queue.